good morning, evening, or afternoon. My fellow otaku's name is Otaku, and in this video I'll be talking about my thoughts regarding what more Shirou or Emiya could have done with their unlimited blade works. So to start this video off, let's first talk about what exactly unlimited blade works is. Well, it's basically a reality marble that produces the countless famous swords that are without their owners, extending into the horizon. It contains all of the raw materials and sorcery needed for the formation of the weapons, and it records and analyzes all weapons and defensive armaments encountered by the user. Their entire histories, compositions, and designs are all perfectly recorded, allowing for instant proficiency with the weapons by inheriting all combat skills and techniques utilized by their original owners. This allows for the reproduction of noble phantasms, which would generally be impossible. The analysis of weapons is limited only to the direct use of human senses, meaning that blueprints and materials will be unable to provide the necessary information for a proper analysis. Shared memories, such as dreams shared with a servant, can allow for weapons to be analyzed and projected, even if they have been lost in present times like Caliburn. The quality of projected weapons will always be degraded by one rank due to humans being unable to fully conceptualize the existence of an object through only one sense. And they will never equal the originals. In essence, the reality marble is a forge, or rather a steel manufacturing process that creates weapons, so it should be possible to take the blueprints within and create an original weapon of his own. The original blueprint for the weapon Shirou has copied wouldn't disappear though, as he would just use a copy of the blueprint to create his own original weapon. It's a bit similar to Senji Muramasa's Tsukamari Muramasa, or otherwise known as Unalloyed Blade Works, where he creates the ultimate katana. After reproducing a wasteland of countless swords due to the deployment of a unique reality marble, all the swords break, scattering like snow crystals. And only one blade remains in Senji Muramasa's hands, a blade that can sever through destiny, karma, death, and whatever else. Now my point is that Senji used the marble to create his own original weapon, so why not Shirou? Sure, he can't exactly create an original divine construct due to not having a complete understanding of it, but he could probably combine the blueprints of two noble phantasms to create something new. He would need to be very careful in the creation of the weapon so as to retain the weapon's property of being a noble phantasm, but in some cases he probably wouldn't be able to make the weapon a noble phantasm due to not having a complete understanding of its magic is only good at human magic and no other. Should he use weapon blueprints from the Age of the Gods, it wouldn't be as powerful as the weapon he copied due to him having no understanding of the magic used in the weapon's creation process. But at the very least his created weapons should be equal to a very high mystic code, maybe even an E-rank noble phantasm if he decides to break the blade. In addition to that, his newly created weapon wouldn't have a legend of its own, nor has it been wielded by a hero of renowned origins, thus the weapon cannot be stronger than the original noble phantasm or mystic code that he's copied, but he could always input the experiences and memories of a particular hero into the blade via sympathizing with experience. For example, let's say Shirou decides to take the blueprints of Ascalon and Barmonk, combining them to form a blade that has both holy and demonic aspects to it, higher dragon slaying properties, pierce through any armor, and defend all from harm. Using the experiences of both Ascalon and Barmonk, he would insert them into the blade so that the weapon would have a pseudo-like legend of its own, possibly giving it the requirement to become a noble phantasm. I am not really all too sure, of course, this is all in theory and has been something that's been bothering me for a good month after I read this two fanfics called Heir to the Blacksmith and Heart of. I am the last one going into more depth with Shirou recreating multiple fairy sword variants from scratch using the original model as a basis. Highly recommend checking it out. I even searched up to see other people's opinions on the matter, and the closest thing I got was from someone on Quora who goes on to state nothing prevents Archer from fusing his weapons. But there's not much of a point. If he wants something strong, instead of crafting a new weapon by hand, it's much easier to just project one that is inherently strong to begin with. He has seen countless weapons from the Age of Gods. Created modern weaponry even by him would always be inferior because they are lacking in fame and magical properties. And if he wants to fuse two Age of Gods weapons, no. They are really hard to modify since Archer's magical tinkering know-how are 1. Not very good in this department, he's not exactly Elmeloi II. And 2. Reverse obsolete because Age of Gods magic are very different and much stronger than Age of Man magecraft scraps. Search for Media's interlude in Fate Grand Order on YouTube to see how hard it is for modern people to modify Age of Gods weapons. End of quote. So yeah, there's also that to consider, unfortunately. Anywho, that's all I have to really say. It was kind of a short video, but I mainly just made this to give my insights. If you somehow enjoyed this video and are interested for more content, then consider subscribing to help support me. Till then, goodbye.